With 6 Grand Slam doubles championships to his name, Jamie Murray is one of the most successful tennis players in British history.
That has been trained by Louis Kaya, his coach, firing thousands of balls at him from very close range.
I've been playing on ATP Tour for 13 years now.
Match point for Jamie Murray and Martina Hingis.
It's a very unique lifestyle that we live as tennis players.
And a standing ovation, Jamie and Martina Hingis are mixed doubles champions for 2017.
I want to give fans and people a sort of insight into that, all the sort of behind the scenes stuff that we do.
Grows as one.
In tennis, currently, you can see the people play the match and then they walk off.
Hugely enjoyable way.
You don't see what goes into getting them on the court. You don't see the aftermath as well, the winning and losing. Well, this week I've been home because we lost early in Paris, and I went and signed up to like a food delivery company. This is me getting into it. It's all vegan. I'm not vegan, but I just wanted to try it and see how I go, because obviously on the road, like, I can't really control always what I'm eating. My name is Jamie Murray and I am a professional tennis player. It's a weird thing to say that. My 2 biggest goals this year were to win at French Open and at Wimbledon, basically because I won the other 2 Grand Slams before, and I think it'd be an amazing achievement to finish my career having won all 4 Grand Slams. Pretty much most of my adult life been with Ali. We'll be married 9 years in October. She's believed in me and kept pushing me to believe in myself. I mean, she doesn't like tennis, she supports me. She's not interested in watching other tennis matches. It's nice, like when we come home, we don't have to talk tennis. She's an organizer, that's for sure. Like, nothing's like out of place, which is great. I mean, it's good for me. Double socks just give me a bit more cushioning if you're on your feet all the time. I mean, I don't do it every time I get on the court. If I'm at a tournament, I can't really afford to do it because, you know, not an infinite source of clothes. Isn't it supposed to rain at all today? This is why I always drive this way. It's not necessarily the quickest route, but I just love coming down this road because you can see right into London. It's my first session on grass with Louis, who's been at the French Open a lot longer than I was. He looks after all the British doubles players. I don't know, I train hard the last few days actually. Andy's been back practicing, so we've been practicing with him, which is good. So he's been enjoying practicing with different people. You're on gear 8, that's why.
It doesn't work, it's spring.
Yeah, we can't practice just now basically because the courts aren't covered at this stage. So if it rains, then you kind of get stiffed a bit. So we're just going to warm up a bit, do some of our gym stuff in sort of reverse order, I guess. The grass season's so short and there's so few opportunities to kind of practice in the lead up to the tournament. To miss the opportunity because of like 10 minutes of rain is a bit frustrating. It's just life as a tennis player, especially in Britain. After French Open, me and Bruno stopped playing, and I'm going to start playing now with Neil Skupski, another British player. Me and Bruno played for 3.5 years. We won 2 Grand Slams in our first year, won Masters Series last year. We finished number 1, 3 and 4 in the world in our 3 years playing together. I think we won 10 titles as a team and maybe played like 20 finals, I think. Yeah, we had a lot of great times on the court, a lot of good memories. For me, it kind of felt like it was time to move on and try something different. Yeah, I'm excited to play with Neil now. It's obviously a huge part of the season for British tennis players because everything's at home, Wimbledon, Grand Slam, Queen's is a huge tournament as well. Often I'll make sure I get workouts from the trainers that don't require much equipment, because if they give me like complex stuff and then I don't have the equipment for it, then I'm never going to do the training, you know? You know, that's why I play tennis, is to like get out there, compete in front of a lot of people, play in the biggest tournaments in the world against the best players. And like any ex-player that I talk to, they're always like, play as long as you can, because nothing else is going to compare to that. Nothing's going to be that feeling. Look after myself better so that I can play for longer. Like when you're young, you play 3-4 hours, you wake up the next day, you don't feel anything, you kind of feel invincible. On the tour, they're always like, look after your body, make sure you stretch, make sure you stay mobile and stuff, do your recovery and that, because if you want a long career, then that's what you got to do, because it's the body that will stop you more so than the tennis probably.
That was perfect, 1-1.
2-1.
I first met Louis in 2006, just at the beginning of the grass court season. Basically, my mum had seen him working with some of the players. She was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is exactly who Jamie and Colin need at this stage of their careers. But we could only have him for those few weeks because we couldn't afford them. We did a session at Chelsea Harbour Club. That was our first session. You know, no idea what to expect. Didn't even know what he looked like. He comes in and he's like, you know, what's your goal? What are you looking to achieve? And you know, we didn't really know what we were trying to achieve, where we wanted to go. We just knew we wanted to be in the Grand Slams. So we're like, oh, we want to be in the top 100. And he's like, you know, I don't want to work with you then. You know, I was like, well, what should my goal be? You know, he's like, well, at least top 30, because then you can play all the tournaments, you know. Eyes totally open to what he was saying. And I don't think he even really believed that I was very good, actually. I think he'd probably say that himself. He sort of changed his mind once he saw me compete and realised like that I was a competitor and, you know, like to get stuck in. And big strength for me was laying up at the net and like my court coverage, being left-handed and having different shots, different ways to win my points compared to like a lot of the other guys that were out there. And it paid off, you know, and he got me to #1 in the world and winning Grand Slams and Davis Cup and, you know, #1 team with Bruno. And like it's been a huge journey, you know, and he's special. You know. We've been practicing with Johnny O'Mara today, who's another Scottish guy. He's ranked about 40, 45 in doubles the last year or so. He's been doing really well with Luke Bambridge, another British guy. It's nice, like, we get a bunch of other Brits on the tour now. There's like 7 or 8 of us playing at Roland Garros. A bit more company for me at some of the tournaments, which is nice. More of them down in London as well, so for practice and stuff, because sometimes it's quite difficult to find the people to get the training done and get the work done.
The preparation for a slam is pretty much always the same on paper for the planning, but Wimbledon is Wimbledon. It's the most prestigious tournament. Jamie will live in Wimbledon, so there's also all the hype of being British and playing for your country. I always try to keep a very, very close coach-player relationship, but with Jamie I develop a bit more a kind of an emotional relationship where I get so nervous when I watch a match, which I don't want to experience, but I do. So it's really nice. What I tell him is every time you come, you can win Wimbledon and you can also lose in first round. So it's to approach each match with a lot of respect, a lot of focus. So it will be the most focused, the most committed and the most brave. Besides the fact that it's the tournament he wants to win the most, everything is pretty much the same. Since Andy's been injured like the last 2 years, he's been at home pretty much all the time, certainly a lot more than he used to when he was fit and healthy. But like it's been nice the last few days because he's obviously starting back training now. It's been cool to practicing with him and kind of seeing his progression. Like that's been really nice for me.
Yeah, we get on well. There's probably like a period when we were younger between like 15 and 18 where we didn't get on as well. I was living in Spain, he was living in France. We didn't really see a whole lot of each other, and then we're quite different, so when we would spend time with each other we'd clash. You know, because he's the older brother, he would always sort of tell me what to do and sort of coach me a little bit and tell me what I'm doing. If I tried to do it the other way around, he wouldn't really listen. So yeah, but we get on great. Like, I mean, we played doubles together for our country, and I mean, I would be his biggest supporter, really. I mean, you know, I follow all of his matches and message him, you know, as soon as he comes off court. I get a lot of joy out of him doing well and winning, so it's nice.
Obviously, yeah, weather's a bit pony today, so we just had to hit indoors. It's not obviously ideal because it's like big change going to grass, and just want to get as much time on the surface before obviously going off to Holland next week. But just the way it is, we did a good session. It was good fun. We just got to the National Tennis Centre, NTC. Come and see Zach, our analyst for the doubles. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, give us the edge in our matches.
So what I'm doing is providing objective information to the coaches, and then they can use that information to best prepare you.
Everything you're doing is to help me win 1, 2, 3, 4 extra points in a match, which is going to be the difference between me going home on Monday afternoon or potentially going on and winning the tournament. For me personally, I feel like I get more benefit from the analysis of the opposition, more so than the analysis of myself. For me, it's more calming, or, you know, this guy only serves a certain way. This is a strategy that they like to do on big points.
Like, the recovery is obviously huge, and when I'm in London, I see Brian for Cairo.
Jamie has to crouch at the net, but look up. He's constantly kind of extending his lower neck into hyperextension. So he regularly gets locked up at the facet joints of the lower neck, right? Good. Yeah.
As I'm getting older, I'm definitely more aware of my body, you know, both physically and mentally.
It's time to peak. If I don't win, you know, I want to know that I gave it everything I could. Potentially I could play another 7 or 8 Wimbledons. These are probably my peak years. This is my favourite time of year. Being at home, getting to compete, British tournaments, my home Grand Slam. Obviously super motivated to do well and try to win the event with Neil, and you know, I'll be doing everything I can over the next few weeks to get myself in the best position possible to be able to do that.